Came out of the locker room at halftime pretty slow, sluggish. What triggered that outburst there in the third?
Not sure, Tommy. We tried. I don't know. I got to watch the film back. I thought that we played with appropriate, which is hard to do, as we've learned in the first 10 games. I thought we played with the appropriate fear, discipline, execution, physicality, poise. And I thought we had it from an array of people tonight, and it was really good to see. And we needed everybody because at different moments of the game, different guys stepped up.
One of those guys obviously was Keldon, best game of the playoffs. What did you see from him?
As simple as it sounds, it just felt like he was being himself. He wasn't trying to do something or trying to be anything. He just played with energy. And as he's shown in his career, and most specifically this year, when he plays with that type of energy, the basketball finds him. He's in the middle of plays. He's in, gang rebound situations where there's multiple people, and he's a catalyst for that energy and that physicality and that dynamic of our team, and we need it.
Devin told us at shoot-around this morning that he expected to see upset Vic tonight coming out. Was that kind of an example of what upset Vic looks like, or at least determined Vic?
Yeah, I don't know what the word was. I think the one thing the one word I'd like to use just mature. I think there was a lot that's happened in the last 48 hours in the last game, and I think how that young man came out tonight and played in a variety of ways, in a variety of situations, not just in terms of his production, was extremely mature.
And then defensively, start to finish, what did you think about the performance? Another sub-100-point game in the playoffs for you guys.
I thought we did a good job of having resistance early in the clock. They've shown as the series gone on, they've tried to play faster at times, and they're tough when they get downhill. And I think when we've had better starting spots, more connectivity at the start of possessions, I think it's really helped us be on a string and be organized and connected defensively. And that helps you out when they have so many guys that get downhill and thrive at getting momentum in space.
Were De'Aaron and Dylan close to not playing, or was it a tough call at all? Or
it was close because I didn't know when I walked in the building if they were going to play. It was real. And I thought for that young rookie and De'Aaron, who hardly misses games ever, for those two guys to have performances like that was as strong as a statement for us in that locker room as victors. Different circumstances and obviously different attention from the external, which we understand, but for what those two guys did and when we know where they're at and what we needed, it's a big-time performance.
This series from both sides where leads are built and leads evaporate and it turns into a dogfight. I think y'all entered the fourth quarter up 18 and it never dropped below 11, went up as many as 29. What did you make of their response and not letting that lead slip away or any part of the game get away from them?
Yeah, we had a few times where, and some of their runs also felt like we might have just missed a shot or two and it snowballed a little bit and we just didn't stay with it quite enough. And then whether they made a couple shots because they're a hell of a team and they're going to make shots, or we allowed it to seep in just even a little bit. That's how fast leads can evaporate. I thought we had a couple times tonight where we kind of drew the line and said enough was enough, whatever that meant. Sometimes that's making a shot. Sometimes that's setting the right screen. Sometimes that's blocking your guy out so your teammate can get a rebound. But there's a lot of little things that go into stopping runs and starting runs. And I think the more that we continue to commit to all of that, it'll really help us out.
Coach, during the playoffs, the emotions seem to be a lot more prominent, especially within the last 48 hours. So how do you coach emotional discipline without taking away the edge of what makes a player special.
You're referring to Victor, or in general?
Or Victor as well.
I think that our team has been in, even in these playoffs, a lot of different situations, and we played without Victor, and Victor's come back, while missing a game or part of a game. And I think our group is very secure with where we're at and who they are. And I think when you have that with the level of fearlessness, you may be lacking in some things like experience or in reference points in terms of what you're walking through, but we're very comfortable with who we are and where we're at, and we're going to continue to just try to lean into our habits and our, execution that we go over every day and things about being connected and together.
Coach, thanks. We have Chris Ray and the players.
Coach stays fighting for his life at these press conferences. Voice is gone, but he does a great job there.
Lozenge.
A few. I feel you, Coach. I've been there. Something jumped out at you during Coach Mitch's press conference there. The nights where you don't know if you're going to play, if you're going to have a good game. He was talking about Fox and Harper and how the dynamics all go there. What jumped out at you? Because you had a reaction to.
Yeah, I was kind of talking to IT about it. Those games where you don't know if you're going to be able to play or not knowing if you're going to be able to suit up for the team. Sometimes those are your best games. I mean, everything else is out of your mind. You're just focusing on playing through injuries. And a lot of times, at least for me, and IT said, attest to it, like, for me, sometimes I have my best games just focusing on ball and not anything else because I'm playing through injuries. Now, that game after that usually isn't that good because, he probably made it worse. But hopefully in this situation it isn't. These, hopefully it's a knick-knack injury or whatever like that. They get a little bit of time to rest. But, yeah, like you're playing through injuries, man, sometimes brings the best out.
Is that like a flow state situation?
It gotta be. I feel like you gotta be a little more locked in. Like Rudy said, your mind is free because you don't know what's gonna happen. But then going into the game, you just like you blank out and just go out there and play. But like he said, yeah. But like he said, the second game is like, oh yeah, he's still injured. You might as well come over to the bench.
MJ, like, if you play have a bad game, it's like, oh, my leg was hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt.
Right.
But if you have a good game,
Like,
and my leg was hurt, you know what I mean?
Worth it. That's all we know. All right, Minnesota got off to a hot second half. Back from 12 down to tie the game in the third quarter, only for Stephon Castle and Keldon Johnson, your boys, to combine for 16 to take the lead back and push San Antonio to an 18-point lead heading into the fourth. Craziness. How impressed are you guys with the depth that the Spurs have really shown, Rudy?
Man, it's something that I've kind of talked about all year. It's like they have so many, and the way they play.